Hey there, amazing English learners. Welcome back to English Journey Podcast. I'm thrilled you're joining me today because we're about to unlock one of the biggest secrets in English learning. Before we dive in, let me ask you something that might blow your mind. How many words do you think exist in the English language? Take a moment to think about it. The answer is over 170,000 words. That sounds terrifying, doesn't it? But here's where it gets interesting. And this is going to make your learning journey so much easier. The average native English speaker only knows between 15,000 to 20,000 words. Even more incredible? Research shows that just the top 100 most common words make up about 50% of everything we say, write, read, and hear in English every single day. This means that by mastering these 100 essential words, you'll understand half of all English communication. Think about it. Half of every movie, every song, every conversation, every book. That's why today's lesson is so powerful. We're not just learning random vocabulary. We're building the foundation that will support everything else you learn in English. These words are like the skeleton of the language. Everything else builds on top of them. Ready to discover the words that will transform your English skills faster than you ever imagined? Let's start this incredible journey together. Nouns, the main characters of every English sentence. Let's begin with nouns, which I like to think of as the main characters in every English story you'll ever tell. A noun is simply a word that names a person, place, thing, idea, or activity. These 10 nouns are absolute champions. They appear constantly in everyday English, and mastering them will make you sound natural immediately. First, we have people words: man, woman, child, and people. Notice how people is actually the plural of person, but we use it so often it's become essential on its own. Then we have time-related nouns: day, time, and year. These show up in almost every conversation because we're always talking about when things happen. We also have big concept words like life and world. These help you discuss important ideas and experiences. Finally, thing is incredibly useful because it's our go-to word when we can't think of the specific name for something. Here's a practice tip. Try to use these nouns in simple sentences right now. The man has a good life. Many people enjoy their free time. This year, the child learned about the world. Notice how natural these sound. That's because native speakers use these exact combinations thousands of times. Practice creating 5 different sentences using these nouns today. You'll be amazed at how quickly they become automatic in your speech. Pronouns, your secret weapons for smooth communication. Now let's talk about pronouns, which are like magic words that make your English flow beautifully and sound completely natural. Pronouns replace nouns so you don't have to repeat the same words over and over again. Imagine if I said John went to John's house because John forgot John's keys. That sounds terrible, right? Instead, we say John went to his house because he forgot his keys. Much better. Here's something fascinating about English pronouns. Many of them have 2 different pronunciations, a strong form and a weak form. For example, he can sound like he when we want to emphasize it, or like hi in normal conversation. Him becomes im, her becomes e, and them becomes im. This is why sometimes English sounds different from what you studied in textbooks. The personal pronouns, I, you, he, she, it, we, and they are your basic toolkit. Then you have possessive pronouns like my, your, his, her, our, and their to show ownership. Don't forget about this, that, these, and those for pointing to things, and who for asking about people. Here's a secret. Native speakers use the weak forms about 80% of the time in normal conversation. Listen to English songs or watch movies today and pay attention to how pronouns sound. You'll start hearing these weak forms everywhere. Verbs, the action heroes that bring English to life. Verbs are the action heroes of English. They're the words that make things happen in your sentences. Every complete sentence in English must have a verb, which makes them absolutely essential. The beautiful thing about these common verbs is that they're incredibly versatile and appear in countless daily situations. Let's start with movement verbs. Come, go, and find. These help you talk about going places and discovering things. Then we have communication verbs. Say, tell, listen, and look. Notice the difference. Say focuses on the words themselves, while tell focuses on giving information to someone. Listen is active, you choose to do it, while hear is passive, it just happens. We also have thinking verbs like know and think, plus action verbs like give, get, have, make, see, use, and want. Here's something important. These verbs often have irregular past forms, so go becomes went, have becomes had, and make becomes made. But don't worry about that now, focus on using them in present tense first. Try this exercise. Pick one verb and create 3 different sentences with it. For example, I want coffee. They want to travel. She wants a new job. Choose 3 verbs from this list and use each one in a conversation today. You'll build confidence and fluency with every use. Auxiliary verbs. The helper words that create meaning magic. Auxiliary verbs are some of the most powerful words in English. And here's why. They help you express time, possibility, obligation, and attitude with incredible precision. Think of them as helper words that work with main verbs to create exactly the meaning you want. The most important auxiliary verbs include be, have, do, can, could, should, would, will, must, might, and shall. Each one has its own special job. Be helps create continuous tenses and passive voice. Have creates perfect tenses. Do helps make questions and negatives. The modal verbs like can, could, should, would, will, must, and might are incredible because they let you express different levels of certainty, possibility, and obligation. For example, I can swim means you have the ability. I could swim suggests possibility or past ability. I should swim implies obligation or recommendation. I might swim shows uncertainty. Here's what makes these words tricky but important. They often have strong and weak pronunciations. Can sounds like can when stressed, but like cn in normal speech. Would becomes d in contractions like I'd go. Practice saying these auxiliary verbs in different sentences and pay attention to how they change the meaning. This will revolutionize how you express yourself in English. Adjectives. The detail masters that paint your English. Adjectives are the detail masters of English. They're the words that help you paint vivid pictures with your language instead of speaking in black and white. These common adjectives are incredibly useful because they appear in almost every description you'll ever make. Let's break them down by type. We have quantity adjectives like all, many, more, some, and any. These help you talk about amounts without being specific. All students, many people, more time, some money, any questions. Then we have descriptive adjectives like different, new, white, and first, last. Notice how white represents colors, new represents age or condition, and different helps you compare things. Numbers like 1 and 2 are technically adjectives when they describe nouns. Here's a powerful tip. Adjectives in English usually come before the noun they describe. We say the big house, not the house big. Also, when you use multiple adjectives, there's a natural order: opinion, size, age, color, origin, material, purpose. So, a beautiful small old white Italian wooden dining table sounds right, while mixing up that order sounds strange. Try describing everything around you right now using these adjectives. Your English will immediately become more colorful and precise. Adverbs. The modifiers that add personality to your speech. Adverbs are the personality boosters of English. They modify verbs, adjectives, other adverbs, and even entire sentences to add nuance, emotion, and precision to everything you say. Here's something that might surprise you. While many adverbs end in -ly, some of the most common ones don't follow this rule at all. Let's look at these essential adverbs. We have place adverbs like here for location. Time adverbs include when and then for talking about timing and sequence. Manner adverbs like how'll help you ask about the way things happen. Degree adverbs such as very, so, and also help you express intensity and addition. The word not is actually an adverb of negation. It's one of the most important words in English. No can function as an adverb in phrases like no later than. Here's something crucial about adverbs. Their position in the sentence can change the meaning. I also like pizza means you like pizza in addition to other things. I like pizza also emphasizes the addition more strongly. Very and so are intensity adverbs that make your descriptions more powerful. Very good is stronger than just good, and so good adds emotion. Experiment with adding these adverbs to simple sentences. You'll discover how they transform basic statements into rich, expressive communication. Conjunctions. The bridge builders of English communication. Conjunctions are the bridge builders of English. They connect your ideas, thoughts, and sentences in ways that make your communication flow like a river instead of stopping and starting like choppy waves. Without conjunctions, your English would sound like a robot. I like coffee. I like tea. Coffee is stronger. I prefer coffee. With conjunctions, it becomes natural. I like coffee and tea, but I prefer coffee because it's stronger. See the difference? The main conjunctions you need to master are and, but, or, because, if, and then. Each one has a specific job. And adds information together. But shows contrast or contradiction. Or presents alternatives or choices. Because explains reasons and causes. If introduces conditions and possibilities. Then helps you make comparisons. Here's a secret about using conjunctions effectively. They help you create complex sentences that sound sophisticated and natural. Instead of saying, I studied English, I wanted to get a better job, you can say, I studied English because I wanted to get a better job. The conjunction, because, creates a logical connection that makes your meaning crystal clear. Practice combining simple sentences with these conjunctions today. You'll immediately sound more fluent and natural in your English conversations. Prepositions. The relationship experts of English grammar. Prepositions are the relationship experts of English. They show exactly how different parts of your sentence connect to each other in terms of time, place, direction, and manner. These small words carry enormous meaning and can completely change what you're trying to say. The essential prepositions include about, at, by, for, from, in, into, on, to, and with. Let me show you how powerful these little words are. At pinpoints specific times and places. At 3 o'clock, at the store. In talks about being inside something or during time periods. In the box, in January. On deals with surfaces and specific days. On the table, on Monday. To shows direction and purpose. Go to school. Listening to music. From indicates starting points. From home. From 9 to 5. With shows accompaniment. With friends, with tools. For expresses purpose and duration. Study for exams. For 2 hours. By indicates method or proximity. By car. By the window. About discusses topics. Talk about movies. Into shows movement toward the inside. Walk into the room. Here's what makes prepositions challenging. They don't always translate directly between languages, and native speakers often use them in ways that seem illogical. Focus on learning prepositions and phrases rather than isolation, interested in, good at, worried about. This will make them much easier to remember and use correctly. Articles. The tiny words that make perfect English finally. Let's talk about articles. The 3 tiny words that appear in almost every English sentence and can make the difference between sounding like a beginner and sounding natural. English has only 3 articles. And, the. But don't let their simplicity fool you. They're incredibly sophisticated tools. A and N are indefinite articles that introduce new, non-specific information. Use before consonant sounds. A book, a university, because university starts with a U sound. Use and before vowel sounds. An apple, an hour, because hour starts with an ow sound. The is the definite article that refers to specific things that both you and your listener know about. Here's the key to mastering articles. A and mean one of many, while the means that specific one. For example, I saw a movie means you saw some movie, but I saw the movie means you saw the specific movie we were talking about. Articles also help with pronunciation rhythm in English. Native speakers often pronounce the as thu before consonants and the before vowels. And a often sounds like in natural speech. Pay attention to articles in everything you read and hear today. Once you understand their patterns, your English will sound dramatically more natural and polished. Putting it all together, your 100-word foundation for English success. Congratulations! You've just learned about the 100 most common words in English, the foundation that supports half of all English communication. But here's the real secret to success. These words don't work alone. They work together in patterns, combinations, and natural phrases that native speakers use automatically. Think of them like ingredients in cooking. You can have the best ingredients in the world, but the magic happens when you combine them skillfully. Start noticing how these words appear together in natural English. You'll see patterns like the man, a woman, some people, this time, that day, very good, so different, can go, should know, in the world, at home, with them, and thousands of other combinations. The key to mastering these 100 words isn't just memorizing them, it's understanding how they flow together in real communication. Listen for them in songs, movies, podcasts, and conversations. Practice using them in your own speaking and writing. Pay attention to their strong and weak pronunciations. Most importantly, don't try to learn them all at once. Pick 5 words each day, use them actively, and gradually build your foundation. Remember, language learning is a journey of discovery, not a race to the finish line. Every time you use one of these words correctly, you're building neural pathways that will make English feel more and more natural. Your homework for this week: choose 10 words from our list and use each one in at least 3 different sentences. Every day, you'll be amazed at how quickly they become automatic parts of your English vocabulary.